welcome to Liberal 12 Man Show. We are joined today by Lee and the Irishman. How you doing, Irishman?
Very well. How are you?
I am very well, very well. And how are you, Lee?
Good.
Good.
Excelente.
Excelente. All right. Bring a little bit of that little Sabe swear. So we are we're into finally Friday. It's going to be excuse me. It's going to be a cool weekend because this is going to be the start of the games that are going to be for the official preseason games. So we should be looking for some real a little bit of an insight or a little bit of a peek as to what we can look forward to with the structure and what exactly this coach is going to bring with the with the formations and with the how everything flows. And also we might get some we're going to get slowly but surely some team players that weren't going to initially be with the team starting to migrate back into the fold of the teams. I remember in the presser.
Jota's back any soon. Jota's coming soon. Is being added to the roster.
Yep. And so is and I don't know if Ibu's going to be added to the roster, but I know that Ibu's going to be joining the lads early in the tour as well. I understand that all these players can always come to America, or they can come on vacation or on holiday, as you say, at any time really of their lives, but all things speaking. But this is an opportunity. I mean, whenever you do get these preseason trips, it's kind of nice to take it because you can get an opportunity to go to a place that you might not have the opportunity or time to go to, because it's the window of opportunity for these players to have to themselves as narrowing with the kind of international play and everything else involved. So it's a good shot, a good chance for them to take advantage of it, get to see it. And they've been talking about Arnie's been talking about the fact that it's been really, really good weather out there. It's been hot. They even had a little bit he said it rained on them once or something like that out there. So it reminded him of Liverpool. But yeah, it's looking nice. What is it that do you have anything that you're looking forward to? Like, as in, what is it about this this return of names? I mean, that's why I should preface that. The return of some of these names. Are you excited to hear that some of these names are going to be joining, or do you think that they should just take their time and just meet up in Liverpool? Lee?
I'm not really bothered either way, as long as they're playing when we kick off the season. Yes, I'd like to see Jota, for instance, because he didn't really play at the Euros, and there are a couple of others who didn't kick a ball who would be hoping to see sooner rather than later, such as Joe Gomez. I would expect Joe to turn up sooner rather than later with him not kicking a ball during the Euros. The others, did Ibu play? Did Ibu actually play? Did he come on as a sub once or twice?
I think
Diego did play.
No, Ibu.
Yeah, Diego. Ibu did not play.
The guy you're talking
about. Yeah. I want Ibu to have a rest. I just want him to rest and have more rest and then be ready when we kick off. But as always with Ibu, even if he's well rested and hasn't played this summer, it doesn't necessarily translate to he's going to be fit on day one when we kick off the Premier League. Unfortunately, you can't take that view with Ibu. Half the time, you've got to assume he will be in. I mean, that's where we are with Ibu, you expect him not to be fit most of the time. But we'll see. We'll see if there's new beginnings anyway. We could be proved right. And that's what I'm hoping. I know other players turn the corner injury-wise this season, like Jones, Jota, have less time on the sidelines. I'd like Jota to have less periods because he doesn't just have one. Jota has about 3 injuries a season or 4. You know what I mean? Like maybe just have one that lasts 3 months, and then the rest of the time you can fit.
Yeah. How about you? How about for you, Brian? Are you
Sorry.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You got a bag of Maltesers there, Brian?
What's that?
You got a bag of Maltesers there or something?
Oh no, some guy delivered some food, but I didn't even. It wasn't for me, so I didn't open it. But he just came back. Apparently, it was the wrong food. He's bringing back other food.
Okay.
But I'm at the front of the house, so I have to deal with all the shit if anybody shows up. So
Got you.
yeah.
The question I had for you then, Brian, was this: that are you thinking it's good for these guys to join up with the team in basically America? Because I was just saying how there's some names that are going to be that weren't expected to be joining, but are joining. Would you rather them just take their time, get their stay, don't have to worry about the flight over, because obviously they didn't make the flight over with the team, and then and just take their time back in Liverpool, or do you want to see them rejoin?
Oh, I'd rather they stay at home, spend time with their families, or like if they've I mean, these boys, they play enough, as long as they're fit and just keep it. Like if they've been away from their families all summer, the Euros, give them some time off. Let them, they play constantly anyway. So a couple of games across the Atlantic, back again, especially for the likes of that. Like if you're the kind of guy like the David Bentley's, the kind of the old fashioned guys that love nothing more than going away with the lads and the crack, and like you were saying, go to America with the boys, going to be brilliant crack, all that, like obviously not on the beer, but kind of some people, they love the younger lads, maybe they love the idea of going away and all of that. But if you're one of the older players here, your long summer, you've got two young kids at home, I'd probably give those boys the extra bit of time off and just say, look, just chill, and we'll pick it up with you when we come back and the training starts. But you probably speak to the players and go, look, how are you feeling? What are you thinking? And if Ibu says, yeah, cool, look, I'm grand, I'd rather go away and get some games under my belt because I didn't play, and who knows. But again, the main thing is with that for me is you don't risk. I know we wouldn't do it, but you don't risk somebody just to bring a big name you don't risk anybody's fitness, and I don't think anybody is. But that'd be the only thing, really. Well, apart from Robbo, as everyone was saying last night, he's broken again, isn't he? So
what?
Yeah.
I haven't heard yet. I watched the Anfield before with Neil Atkinson. They had a thing. To be honest, I only watched a bit of it, and my attention span went then. But Anfield Rap was on before. I can't even remember what he was talking about. But it was all right. I watched that. It was all right.
Well, yeah.
Forgot now.
There wasn't it was. I watched the presser, and basically, well, what I was going to ask is this: is that I watched the presser today, and in the presser they talked about, or not today, I watched it yesterday, but in the presser, basically, Arnie was talking about, or he was asked a question about Robbo, and it's specifically, about Robbo, and about what was the injury, and one thing I noted, and something I saw, or at least when the way he answered the question. He answered the question by saying, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously. He answered the question, internal medical problem or medical situation, and because of such, I'm not going to. We're going to keep that in house. Basically, we're going to keep that. I'm not going to speak on it. And I was kind of like. I didn't necessarily expect him to say that answer, simply because, it's not that is if you know what the injury is, you know, and you know what the problem is, and it was a problem apparently reportedly that he had going into the international play, and he just somewhat played through it, similar to Sabasali, and then but it is just it is reemerged as a bigger problem now. I was wondering, like, why would you not just nip it in the bud and say, hey, you know, yeah, it's an ankle injury, or it's this injury, or it's that, whatever it is, like, rather than say, oh yeah, we're not going to discuss on that, you know, to have the mystery and secrecy still be a part of it. That didn't really rub off right with me. I don't know if hearing that would with you too.
Well, no, nobody likes a mystery, do they? When a player's injured and you ask the question, what's his injury? You don't expect them to come out with vague stuff. You expect them to say, he knocked his ankle. And that's it, like, you know what I mean? Or he strained his muscle, his calf muscle. You'd expect them to say that and not be vague and hint at contagious diseases and bloody skin eating disorders. I don't know, scrofular or something. What is it like? Can we please know? Don't be vague about it. If he's injured, tell us. What did he say?
Yeah.
Did he say?
I mean, like, I might be paraphrasing. But I am being very honest with his answer. Was basically, it was kind of like, we're going. It's internal. We're dealing with it internally, and I'm not going to speak on the injury.
Okay. All right. I thought you said it was it was internal. What was wrong with him? And I thought, well, of course.
No. Yeah. Big up, Norm. I appreciate the 4 wishes that you put. You guys too. Please do put your and keep your wishes, like, realistic. By the way, realistic in that, like, you know, you don't just say we win the Champions League, we win the quad, you know, or something like that. Like, keep them realistic. What are 4 expectational wishes you'd like to see answered in this upcoming campaign? That's the question I have for you guys. That's the question we're going to deal with eventually today as well. So if you put them in, I will star them and bring them up as well. And if you have questions in general, just ask away. I will do my best to make sure that the panel is able to answer those questions.
Sam, I'm curious already. Is Slot saying that Robbo's injury will be dealt with internally and we're not sending him outside for outside advice from experts? Is he saying we know what this shit is and we'll sort it? Is that what's being said about Robbo? I'd love to know what they're talking about, because I want to know. Robbo's one of our key players, mate, in a key position, and position we missed him in badly last season when he weren't there, mate. As well as Joe Gomez did. Joe Gomez is not a left back and never will be. He can play there, but he is not a left back. So I want to know what's up with Robbo. I want to know.
Yeah, I think Brian is itching to jump in here. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, just before it goes on too long, I do want to actually answer the question. If I wouldn't be at all concerned, because he said we're keeping it internal, and I'm not, because that's clearly something that they don't know. It sounds a bit like it sounds he's made it kind of sound a bit more intriguing than it probably is.
Yeah.
There's you know, I've seen people come out before. I've seen plenty of times where guys, managers have come out before and said we're not going to, you know, we're not going to specify what the injury is. Everybody knows he's injured, but we're not going to specify what it is. The reason for it will be kind of, I'd imagine, kind of fairly straightforward afterwards. But normally, I mean, it's the timing of it as well. Like, if it was a mid-season thing or something, like back in the day, maybe if it was, say, we're about to play Man United 3 days time and Michael Owen is apparently injured, and it's like, no, well, look, we're not going to specify what the injury, but there's no real reason to keep it under wraps as much. So that's probably the one thing. So to me, it just sounds like that sounds like it's not good. just in terms of lengthwise. That's what I guess. I just guessed. That to me makes it sound like
see, no,
they
that's
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't know what it is. Or they know what it is, but they don't know how long he's going to be out. Is what that sounds to me like. Because he doesn't want to come out now and say, oh yeah, it could be a couple of weeks, and he's going to see the doctor tomorrow, and then he goes and sees the doctor tomorrow and say, no, that's 6 months, man.
Right.
It smells like that to me. That's what it smells like to me. But hey, could be wrong. It turns out he just had COVID. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, yeah. They did say yes. Nilante asking, yes, Robbo is injured. I know when you do any of the searches, there's really no definitive answer as to what is the injury. I've noticed that, and I'm bringing this up because I've also noticed, I've seen some mention even in our own chat here, but I've also noticed that people are starting to have this inference that Robbo is injury prone, which I personally don't think he's injury prone, to be honest with you. I understand.
He's hardly ever been injured since we bought him.
Yeah, I think that like what's unfortunate. I mean, like, to get a shoulder injury, that's a rare injury, especially in football, and I think now, because he's had a couple, like every player gets knocks and the likes, but Robbo's been pretty much one of our more consistent players when it came to availability.
Until that shoulder knock. Robbo's games missed were never more than 2 or 3, to my recollection, since the day we bought him. I don't remember him ever missing more than 2 or 3 games in a row until he's on his shoulder playing for Scotland early last season. That was the first big injury I remember him having since he's been at Anfield. And I'm pretty sure I haven't just forgotten one. As far as I can recall, he was never injured. He played constantly, which may have been one of the things that contributed in the end to him showing that wear and tear, like, in the area that he's at. I don't know. I really don't know. I just hope he isn't out long, because he's important. But Simi's a good enough backup as a left-footed left-back. I don't want to go back to Gomez again. I don't want to see that. Unless Slot decides unequivocally that we will play 3 centre-halves and Trent in midfield, that I don't want to see Gomez at left-back.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, I think the problem, I just think, is that all of the time that he has been out, not all of it, but most of it has been kind of recently. So people just remembering recently that he's been injured for ages. I think that's the problem. He pretty much he broke into the team. He's had a couple of bits and pieces, but pretty much ever present. But I think it's the fact that he's been injured a lot recently that just everyone just can only think of me. That's all I can think of, because nobody can look at what Robbo's done and think he's an injury prone player.
Right.
But
that's like kind of.
No, you have to get
narrative
to be called injury prone. You don't get to call players injury prone when they've only been injured once. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that's what's becoming the narrative, and that's why, or at least that seems to be the growing narrative lately, and that's why I was like referencing that, because just I know he was on the poster, and he's like one of the few big names that was going to be a part of this trip. It is interesting that he did play for Scotland, but like as in didn't have exactly the best results with Scotland this Euros. All the same, he's had some time. They got eliminated from early in the group stage, so he had time to recuperate from whatever the injury was. But it was just one of those things I thought I'd ask, because
well, when people want new things, they try and make excuses to get rid of the old thing. Oh, he's injury prone. Let's get a new left back. Robbo's over the hill. He's injury prone. Let's get rid of him. I think people do that sometimes a lot when they want new things. That old thing, it's knackered. Let's get rid of that. It's like, well, it's okay, but I think that a lot of it is the summertime. They look at a guy injury prone 30. Yeah. Let's get a new one. Let's get a new left back.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these guys don't really pay attention to what's actually going on.
The narrative in the stream chat boxes last season when Robbo did get injured was that like he's worn out, and it was from other like YouTube podcasters, other people who appeared on screen talking like we are here was saying, yeah, Robbo's worn out. We've used him too much, and like he's worn out now. And that was their angle of attack, saying he's finished now, he's worn out. Let's get a new one. Was what they were saying.
Yeah, Bonkers said Slot. He did say this. Slot did say he'd be back after the 3 games, as in he'd be back in the fold of things after they got back from the tour. But I mean,
someone should have mentioned that earlier on. Maybe would have been helpful.
No, but you know what though? It's still the fact of the matter is that okay. Well, if he was or if he is injured, why not have him recuperate with his injury back in Liverpool? Like, as in, I know he wants to be a part of it. Yeah.
Well, that's a different question. Now, why not send him back to Liverpool? Who knows?
Well, it's not no. As in, not why not send him back to Liverpool? Why even bring him on the tour? Because this is something he had.
I assumed he got. Yeah, I know, but I'm assuming that like it happened again there. Yeah, because obviously, why would they have brought him if he was injured?
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was like a reoccurrence of what he'd had rather than he got there. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm still broken, by the way. It's like, oh, okay, cool. You can go, that's what I just, because that would have made no sense. Like, why would they say, hey, come on over, even though they know he's injured?
Right, yeah.
Because you have Melwood, you have Kirby now, you go there and get your rehab, go in training every day, and go and see people there.
Exactly where I'm going with it. Yep. That's the only question that's why it was kind of weird. And then like to not tell us what it is. It was kind of like, what is all this like why is he here if he's injured, and why is he? That's my point of what I was trying to get at. Basically, it's like if he's injured, cool, then let him rehab and get his stuff, get ready for the season, the proper way. But if he's not, I mean, like I'm looking at the poster of him on there. I know that the posters are pictures and all the promos are made early, but I mean, like realistically, it's just a reminder, of like the player is not available, and that's what I'm getting at when it comes to those.
But also, just quickly, those people aren't wrong either. He is 30. And he does have a lot of those Klopp miles in his legs. So, yeah, he definitely isn't the peak 26-year-old run for days. What was it? Jose Mourinho or Guardiola said, I nearly puked watching him. He was just, like watching someone going up and down the line. He says, like watching someone do those lactate tests. That's what it made me think of. I was nearly puking watching it. Not a nice phrase to use, but you knew what he meant. Just the energy. Obviously, he's not that guy anymore. I mean, nobody, even Robbo will tell you he ain't that guy anymore. But the idea between that and being, or the difference between that and being finished is, yeah.
Well, it is concerning. It is concerning. I mean, it is just a little bit of a concern. I mean, like Bernie put up about Arnie said that it was an injury that Robbo put her comment about the typos. No worries about the typos, by the way, Bernie. But Arnie said that it was an injury Robbo had carried into the Euros. So I guess that's why maybe some people are starting to say, oh, he's injury prone, or he obviously can't, he can't just kind of shake these injuries as of late. But hey, I'm wishing you the speedy return and the best of health, Robbo. I know we all are, I'm sure, but yeah, it was just an interesting predicament.
No, he has a strong role to play. I don't know what Coppish sound like, but he's someone you keep. Like I said, I'm just trying to be not be silly about it. He is 30. He does have a lot of miles in his legs, but I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm just saying let's plan for the future and have him. You slowly phase out every player into their 30s. So next 2 seasons, like Nanate saying, be a starter for this season and slowly bring someone behind him.
Is this the last year? Would you guys want to see this? Not sure want to see it, but do you expect this to be the last season that Robbo is your solidified number one choice at left back?
Yeah, I think it might be. My idea would be if we were to keep him more than another season, would be to use him significantly less and use the number 2 more. Simi's younger, has got less miles on the clock. I do like Simi. I think he is adequate when he gets up ahead of steam and himself doesn't get injured like he did when he come in to replace Robbo last season. Promptly got injured and Joe had to come in. But Simi is an adequate replacement with a very good left foot. Slightly different as a left back to Robbo. Well, not slightly different, fairly different to Robbo as a left back. But he is still a decent left back. He can defend Simi. Robbo's a better defender, I'd say. And Simi's probably got a more cultured left foot. But yeah, there you go.
Segueing into a player that might either play next to him. I know we did a mock guess at what we would possibly see the 11 be. I actually just gave my own personal starting 11, predicted starting 11 in the chat. I listed it in the chat. So if you guys want to see who, well, here, let's see if I can bring it up here. Let's see if I can find what I said. But a player that we all think, or possibly all think, that is going to get might even start, but definitely get some playing time in this preseason is Sepp Vandenberg. There's been reports out there that the total teams that are vying or actually in the market for his current services is up to 8 teams currently. Just unfortunately, none of the 8 teams are willing to meet the evaluation that Liverpool have set for the player. So let me bring up this was my own personal. I know that we all did a combined or a conjoined 11 on the preview show yesterday, but or the day before, I should say, but on Wednesday. But this is my predicted one. Do you think that Vandenberg getting this start, if he does, is a real shout to Sepp that play well and you can find minutes with this? Or do you think this is just, hey, we're just trying to market the player more for a move from the team? Irishman, we'll go to Irishman first, then we'll go to Lee last.
Yeah, Lee can talk.
All right, fine. You can go to
No,
Lee.
I know. I mean, I'll only take 2 seconds. I'm not going to repeat what I've said thousands of times. He's not going to play for the club.
Okay.
So there you go. He's going to be sold. So there you go.
Okay. Lee, short and sweet. But Lee, how about you? You don't have to keep it short and sweet if you don't want to. And in the chat, please tell me what your feelings are too. Look, you think this is his real opportunity?
I've not seen any of Sepp Vandenberg's games for Mainz. I'm told he's improved. I'm told he's fast now. I'm told he's a half decent player, but I don't think he's the player I know he's not the player we need to partner Virgil. To be honest, if he was, he'd have been partnering before now, because he is 23 or 24, isn't he? He's the same age as Ibu Vandenberg. Yeah, we need to centre off. That's my main thing, and has been for ages. I said we needed one last season, and I believe that we did. We need one this season, and we're going to need one next season if we still don't buy one this summer. You know what I mean? We need a centre off. End of.
Did anyone say what it is? The price, what it is they're looking for? And you mentioned what number we have on
€20 million, was it? I think, or 18, so that's about 15 million.
About that. It's about like 20 million.
It is a lot for clubs that haven't got a load of money. It is a lot,
Yeah, it was about 20 million.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be all in one bastard go, does it? Forgive the language.
No.
You can get it in installments. Surely some of these clubs would be able to pay us in installments for the dude.
That's how it all works, man. It's a shop window job. It's a proper shop window job.
I know. My point was,
we're all adults here. We can wait for the rest of it.
Yeah, you're talking. I mean, what I was going to say is, we went over something that the Irishman brought up one time was that, there's never been I don't even think there's been a 20 million pound offer from some of the Bundesliga teams that are vying for his services, much less the Dutch teams that are vying for his services as well. Let me see if I can. But there are some English sides. Brentford and Southampton are two of the teams that are currently putting their name or their hat in the ring as well. Brentford. So it's not like it's just your Mainz or your those kinds of clubs in the Bundesliga or your PSVs or stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead, Lee.
Did you say Brentford won him or it's shown interest?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be a good move for him, and Brentford could say.
So I can give you the names on the list here. I can give you the names. So basically, Stuttgart is looking at him. Hoffenheim is looking at him. Ajax, PSV. And then also, like I said, Brentford and Southampton. And Mainz is in the mix. That's 7. And then looking for the 8th. Ajax, PSV, Mainz. Yeah. And Wolfsburg too.
Mm-hmm.
None of those names are names that really cry out like super wealthy teams that can make a 20 that could make probably one of their bigger ventures on a player and have it be set as that player, not like a bona fide player
that they would go for. Certainly afford him. Southampton got promoted, didn't they? Yeah. Southampton are back, aren't they, in the Prem?
Yeah. Yeah, Hylor's saying he wouldn't pay too much attention to the Wolfsburg link. Okay. What is the number? What's the number that you'd settle in on if one of those teams, one of the 8 teams, were to say, we're going to try to get as close to the evaluation of the 20 million euro evaluation that we just said is about what they're looking for. What is the number that you think is the number that you would say, okay, it's not 20 million, but let's take the money.
But
what's the money? It is 20 million too, by the way. In the article that I see here, it does say 20 million or 17 million pounds.
Yeah, I'd be wanting all of that, really. I wouldn't be wanting like 12 or something like that. 12 ain't enough, mate. 12's a piss take. No. I'd be wanting all the 15, 16.
How about yeah, I think I think what Norm just said, 15 million, a Curly Whirly and a Wham Bar. Okay. I think, and Bernie's saying 20 million isn't enough for us to let him go if he's improving. It's a lot to them, but not to us. That's a great point, by the way, Bernie. That's a very good point. Like there are points where, like, I know Brian's already, pretty much he said his point a million times over. But I can understand what you're saying, Bernie, and I have that same tendency when it comes to players. I rather this, I understand that player wants to leave. That's one thing. I get that. And you do try to work out something for it, but you don't want to actually then just give away the player for some bargain basement price, as in you have to tell the player, look, we will be more than willing to find you a home, but it's got to be at least close to the evaluation of what we have for you. Otherwise, look, we are open to trying to get you trying to get you involved or implemented into the team in one way or another. So
not that bit. No, you were fine up until you said that bit. Like, just because no one comes in, all of a sudden, oh well, we're going to try and get you into the team.
No, it's no. As in
No, no,
like,
no, 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 no.
as
Yeah,
in
no,
like,
that's not
as
going
in
to
our
happen. He'll
players
go
that
on loan again. No, he'll go out on loan again.
right,
I
right,
mean,
or
like,
or,
so he's not going to come into our team. Yeah, but we bought. When did we buy Seth Van den Berg? 2019.
I know we already know your point. We get your point.
Yeah, so
And you've heard it a
he's
million
never
times
played
in your
for.
own
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. That's why. No, sorry, Lee. That's why I didn't want to repeat it, or then I was short and sweet. I don't want to, but we're still talking about this guy for some reason. So, like, you asked me what price. Someone said it right there earlier on. Depends on the structure of the deal. If anybody offers us more than 10 million quid in one lump sum, you let him go. Or if they want to put it over, sorry, if they want to
They
put it
have
over four,
they've
if they want to, if they,
they've offered us 12 million. There has been
yeah,
an offer for 12 million.
finish? Can I finish? If someone offers us 10 million cash up front in a lump sum, anything north of 10, I would take it. I would take it. If that offer is over 4 years, I would want 16 million. That's what the club will do. So if it's 4 million a year for the next 4 years, that's 16. That's what it's going to be. But if anyone came in and said, yeah, 10 or 12 million, and we'll pay it all now in one lump sum, not amortized, then you take that. That's what I would take, because I think that's what he's worth. So sorry, but that's it. That's all I'll say on it.
Okay.
I don't think any of our fan base is excited by the idea of him replacing Joel Matip, to be honest.
Yeah, that's very true. There are some out there that have said that they'd be interested to see what he's got. And I know that there are those that do watch him in the Bundesliga. I know Hylor watches him. I know JK. I'm not certain if JK is going to join us or not, but I know JK is interested or has been seen his play over in Germany. I believe he's 23. I want to say. Let me double check for you.
By all accounts, he's done well in the Bundesliga. By all accounts, and if these accounts are to be believed, he's been good in the Bundesliga and has racked up good stats. So
yeah, he's 22.
I don't want to see him given a go. Yeah, of course I want to see him given a go, but I just don't really believe that he's the answer that we've already.
No, I don't necessarily believe that he's like the bona fide.
In the same way, neither Nat Phillips nor Reece Williams were the answer, neither is Seth Van den Berg. For me, the answer to the CV riddle is to buy was established one to play with Virgil, such as Gleason Bremer, who's already played for a couple of clubs in Turin. Bring him here.
Before we get into this into the main topic, there have been reports that that the pursuit of Nico Williams has intensified. I know that obviously we are left wing heavy when it comes to our team. I know most of us would probably prefer to hear a right winger's name be the name being mentioned as opposed to another left winger as being a name if we were to pursue someone. But Nico Williams, especially with his coming out party in the Euros, has been a name that has been very very coveted by a lot of teams and by a lot of fans out there. The reports were that Liverpool were trying to get their name involved in it all. I'm not saying we're getting Nico Williams, people, before we go down that line. But the names have started to the teams have started to get their pole positions. It looks like Barcelona is the top choice, possibly. It then looks like PSG is an actual destination spot for him, possibly, and even what was the third? Oh, and the third was just possibly just staying with his club, staying with Atletico. So yeah, I can understand Norm's point where he says he thinks West Ham will sell Kudus as well. I'll bring that up in a second. Norm.
No doubt.
But do you think that we should try to get more heavily involved in this pursuit of Nico Williams? Do you think that he's that valuable of a player that we should really bring forward more attention to trying to bring that caliber of that particular caliber of a player, or at least that particular player in? Do you think that way, Lee? And then I'll go to Irishman.
No, I'm not really looking at him as a signing. Not this summer anyway. I'm not even that hot on him, to be honest. Like, I prefer Mohamed Kudus. Like, if I was given the straight choice right now between Mohamed Kudus and Nico Williams, but only because Kudus has already played here a season, that will help. I don't know. I don't want a forward, to be honest. I'm not interested in forwards this season. All I'm interested in is making us more solid as a team. Want us to be a more solid team, and to make yourself more solid, you don't change your forwards.
Yeah. Not a West Ham player, but Moussa Diaby has made the move to Saudi Arabia. Actually, that was interesting for 50.6 million. It's a nice little haul for Villa. Villa paid quite a bit for him too to bring him in, but they made a little bit of change on top of that move for him. But yeah, let's see.
Both him and Douglas Luiz leave. One to leave is something, but for both to leave, I'm quite surprised at that. Like, Villa have sold both of them.
Yeah, it's interesting what Barca. I know we're not going to make it too much into Barca's affairs, but it is interesting. Heiler's putting it out there. He says, Strapjo asked, well, does Nico Williams want to play in the Premier League in the first place? He is open to a move to the Premier League. That was reported out there. I know that Heiler says that it looks like Barca will be able to finance a deal for Nico Williams. The whole finance situation with Barcelona is a head scratcher because there are points where they sound like they've got to mortgage this, that, and then some just to make things happen. And then there's also but then you have the president of the club coming out and saying that Barcelona would be able to finance Nico Williams without mortgaging the house or giving away some of their bigger names. I don't know how they do that personally, but because they certainly have had the reports about their financial issues. But yeah, I don't know if Nico Williams is going to happen. I know that they also spoke on Olmo, that they wanted to bring in Danny Olmo as well. I know that Danny Olmo is a second choice behind Williams. First Williams gets solved, then Olmo might come in. I was disappointed. Were you disappointed to not see us? Were you disappointed possibly not to see us take that 50 million release clause and just go and buy Danny Olmo? Maybe. I know they play different positions, but speaking of La Liga players, were you disappointed to see that? Because we were we're technically in the race to even sign him. Were you disappointed in that, Lee?
Yes, from the point of view that I'd love Danny Olmo, and if it's not happening, then I'm sad about it. But again, I have to question: do we really need players in these positions for next season? And we've already got enough forwards, from my point of view. It's other areas we need to tend to make us a better team. Scoring more goals next season won't make us win more points, but conceding less goals will make us win more points, I'm sure of.
Yeah, very true.
Make us bigger title contenders, put it that way, closer to the title.
For sure. Any of those names that you would have liked to seen us get in, or like put, or at least have put, or be putting more effort into bringing in, Brian? The Almos or the Williams, those kind of names.
Yeah, well, the original question was to me and Lee about Nico Williams, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to. So
yeah, I was just taking some of what the chat brought into the.
Yeah, but I'll just go back to that. I'll back to Nico. Yeah, like Romano has come out and said that Barcelona have put absolutely everything on hold to get him. He said there's nobody going to Barcelona until they either get a yes or a no from Nico Williams.
Right.
So, or whether it's a yes or a no, or whether the deal goes through. So that's obviously 100% their focus. So I'd be surprised. That will. I'd imagine that will kind of have to fall through almost before someone else can get him. But would I want him? The other question is, like, I know, it doesn't make sense for us to buy him, and we don't need a player in his position on our team right now. But I take him in a heartbeat as a player. Yeah, I take him in a heartbeat. And he's better than probably most of what we have there at the moment. I just think he's a level. I think he's. Sorry, I think he is. I think he's level just above kind of most players in the league. His fitness record is phenomenal. He's like Salah. That guy. You can rely on him. We talk about availability and all that. So if we didn't have Gakpo and Diaz, if we didn't have those boys and we were in the market, I feel like go get it done. Even if it didn't, you had to wait for Barca. But I think it's pie in the sky, even that he would come to us, even in that kind of respect. So then with Dani Olmo, again, if we needed a guy in that position, which we did, if you're asking me, I'm disappointed we didn't get him a while ago. I thought we should have maybe we could have got him a couple of years ago. Not now, but again, just like because Lee is saying he'd be really disappointed if we had 70 million quid to spend and that was it, and we went out tomorrow and we spent it on a forward and we didn't get a DM and we didn't get a centre half. So we'd need to be doing those things first. But if you woke up tomorrow and Diaz had left and we replaced him with Nico Williams, or if that happened, I'd be okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. I don't think.
Yeah, you know why? You know why too, though. Go ahead.
Don't see that having an extra forward to choose from would get us any closer to the league title or make our points tally any higher. The only way I see us achieving that really is by having a tighter team, which means having a better, more luxurious number 6 and a new centre half to replace Joe Massive. Yeah, that's the only place I see us really improving as a team that's chasing the title this season to try and get closer to that. I think 100 points total or whatever City are going to pull this season. You know what I mean?
Yep, a luxurious number 6. We all need one of them.
A new
also, though, maybe one of the reasons. Go ahead, Lee.
Oh. No, it's okay. I'll just turn it off for a second and do something.
Yeah, what I was gonna bring up. I know we got a little bit of a lag, maybe, but what I was gonna bring up is like, what is another interesting angle or twist to that saga of our left wing and what's going on with our left wing, and I don't know why we have issues with our left wing, considering we have so many players that do play left wing for us or can play left wing at least. There was a report that Gordon had told his English teammates that the move to Liverpool was going to get done. He was already telling Liverpool teammates telling teammates on the England squad that he expected the Liverpool deal to be done, and he was already in the mindset that he was going to Liverpool. So it was one of those. It's interesting how this left wing thing has become. Whether are we going to see is Diaz going to get his move, or are we going to not Gordon again? I know exactly that report about the England comment came out 2 days ago, I believe it was. Just a fun little reminder that. And there's all these. There's still, I guess, because there's before that little reminder came out, there were also stories about Anthony that Gordon had even though the deal was not done, that deal wasn't exactly going away. There's still been talks, or at least been rumors and murmurs of it possibly coming back to rear its head. We'll see about that. Excuse me. Yeah, and that could be connected to maybe the reason why he maybe said the whole thing about Norm saying he saw a report earlier that Gordon was going to hand in a transfer request. He only has 2 years left on his current 3.5 year, or his current 3.5 year contract. Yeah. Tyler, great question. How many left wingers do Liverpool need to put the light bulb back?
Well, if one comes in, it's gotta tell you. Like we surely, unless it's unless I don't know. You got now again. Let's not get into he's going to play this way, he's going to play that way, because he said himself there yesterday. Look, we'll build up like this. Sometimes it'll be that. Sometimes it'll be 4-2-3-1. Sometimes it'll be 3 at the back. In build up. But as he said, no. But we will line up this way. We will line up in or defend in that way. But yeah, we'll build up in different ways. So maybe if he said, no, look, I can use Diaz on the right, or I can use Diaz in the and then I can. But if we signed a left,
I actually do like Diaz on the right.
Yeah, but if you'd have to imagine if we woke up tomorrow and we'd signed a £70 million guy who's just an out and out left sided, like a Salah, that's where he's going to play, and he costs a lot of money, then that would suggest, Gakpo, Diaz, and this new guy won't all be able to play there. So the idea that we were in for them, I don't know, was that more of an opportunistic, because they mentioned that word before, opportunistic. And I think that would describe what went on there very aptly. It was an opportunistic thing because Newcastle were being forced, at the time, to bring in money before the 30th of June, that the mini transfer deadline. So it was an opportunity to get a player who should be worth X amount of money for half of X. And I think that's really what that one came down to. I don't know. I mean, I've watched a few of these Fabrizio Romano things recently, the kind of clipped up or 10-minute versions of his live streams. And every time people are coming in, he goes, I will not look, man. I can't. He said, I can't talk about. Don't ask me to talk about Liverpool because I'm not here to make up names. I'm not here to make up stories. There is no news. Okay. So, even he's not linking us as, the third team that might be interested. Not even that kind of crap. He's saying, look, guys, if there's something, I'll tell you. He said, a couple of times he said, but look, don't worry. I know they are working behind the scenes. They're working behind the scenes. But yeah, he has pretty much been really kind of, look, don't even ask me because I know he's going to say, look, I know you guys want me to say something like, oh, they might be interested in such and such. I'm not going to go there.
Right.
Because there ain't nothing.
Yeah. There was. Let me bring up some of his other comments from the chat as well. I brought up High Lord's point. He says, it's now confirmed that our youth keeper, Fabian Morzik, has been loaned out to a Swedish football club.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Good luck with that one. If you thought his surname was difficult, good luck with that one.
Brahmapoikarna, I think Brahmapoikarna, for the whole season.
I'm sure you absolutely nailed it. I'm sure that's exactly how it sounds in Swedish.
I'm sure I did. If any of our Swedish Reds out there,
Hylor will be able to tell you.
Maybe.
Hylor will be able to break it down.
But I'm a scouter, so I can't really, you know what I mean? I've never been to Sweden, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I would love to go to Sweden for sure. But before he was loaned out, he signed a new contract. It was when he signed the new contract, it was speculated that he was going to be that he was going to be promoted to the third string keeper once Adrian especially had been had announced that he was going to be leaving the team. But again, that's just not the case apparently, as it looks like the Brazilian is going to end up being our third string keeper, which is a big step up for him, considering I don't think his last loan didn't go as well as he was expecting it to go actually. There's also this right here by Bonkers. He's saying Owen Beck is hoping to sign a new deal before any loan is possibly agreed. His long-term aim, is to fight for the left back spot at LFC. I like to hear that, Owen. I like to hear that.
I'm almost certain there was a Scottish pop singer called Owen Beck in the late 80s. In fact, I'm certain of it. I'm not just imagining this because it says the name there. There was a Scottish pop guy called Owen Beck. So like a mullet and a guitar, sang heartfelt ballads, pop ballads and shit in the late 80s.
Yeah. Well, let's get into JK as okay. So now that we have four, we have the Fab Four here. We can get into excuse me. We can get into the topic at hand here, which was the topic of the show, which is basically four realistic expectations wishes. Wish expectations, I guess you'd say, for this upcoming summer or upcoming season. What is it that you want to see this team improve upon, solidify, achieve, whatever it is? What is it that you want to see? And again, don't say Champions League, Quad, Premier League. Those are obvious. We would all love to see us win the Quad or win a treble or something like that. We all get that. But what are some really real wishes? And I'll even start us off just to kind of get the idea of what it is. And that is, for me, one of the big wishes that I would like to see happen is I would like to see us solidify a center back pairing, and so we can stop conceding early goals. So I would like to see a real solidified center back choice for Virgil be created or presented on this campaign or in this campaign. One that we can get the type of production, but also availability, i.e., like a Saliba and Gabriel. As in, if you look at their numbers, they played a significant amount of time as a pair duo for Arsenal last year, and it made a difference, and it made a real difference in them being able to have familiarity with themselves, but also to create a real viable defensive line. And that's what one of the things that I'm wishing for is that we get a solidified partner for Virgil, whether it's Konate, whether it's Kwanzaa, or whether it's someone we bring in. I'd like to see us get that as one of the things that we would like to do. So that's just one. I'll give my other three after. But that's the kind of wishes that I'm asking for from not only the panel but also from the chat. I have Norm's list. If you guys have four, put them in the chat, and I will include them after the panel goes through theirs. So, Lee, do you have four things that you want to see? Your top four.
Well, if a genie popped up and offered me three wishes, say, or four,
four.
The first one to start with is a tighter defense and not conceding the first goal so much next season. It wasn't so much a feature of the previous seasons where we went behind all the time, but it sure was last season, and I don't want to see it again this season, falling behind all the time, because it does give you a mountain to climb once you're behind in games. and he wants to climb a mountain every match.
Okay. All right. So your wish. I'm gonna do my best Aladdin here. Your wish is that you want better defense, basically.
Yeah, tighter defense
Better
and
defense.
not conceding the first goal.
Okay.
So often.
Yeah. So on the same, it's very similar.
We took chances too easy last season. It was too easy to score against us last season, and that's all there is to it. Anyone that counters otherwise is talking shit. It was too easy to score against Liverpool last season, and that's all there is to it.
Okay. Irishman, how about for you?
The first one, I suppose, yeah, I'll stick with what you guys are saying. Again, I'll just play devil's advocate just for the sake of it. I don't think you have to have a guaranteed, this is our number two, this is our two guys, and they're going to play every week, because no one ever one of them will get injured anyway. So I'd like to see us bring in two new centre halves, one to replace Ibu in terms of putting Ibu back a place in the squad, and one to replace Matip. And because if you look at Man City, say because they've been able to spend money, they constantly have John Stones out injured, or one of the guys is out, and they can always move them around. And they still, so you can, if you have the good enough players. Again, I would like to see us have like an Arsenal style partnership, because I'm old school and that is the old school way of doing it. But I just thought if we bring in two, then that would be a huge statement to bring in like two 30 to 40 million pound centre halves and say, yeah, that's really locked it up now. So yeah, that'd be my first one as well. Yeah, really just go heavy in and say we're really improving this defense, and it's not just going to be one guy.
Okay. JK, what's your wish?
Evening, guys.
The genie in the
Hey,
bottle.
Hi, JK. How are you, man?
Welcome. Obviously, welcome. Yes.
For me, it's always been a DM. I've always wanted a Rodri type of DM. That's probably my main wish out of the four. And I think that's a lot of fans thinking the same thing. Like a DM is so important, but as people coming out with the thing as, we don't know what slot's going to play, blah, blah, blah. But for me, you will find every manager needs a DM in his team. I always believe that. He's like a sweeper, as we used to call it back in the days. So for me, that's the main thing, DM.
Okay. So a DM is your main wish. You want to find us.
Yeah.
So okay. The genie in the bottle has heard your wish, so we got to find a DM. And you want a DM other than
World
Endo,
class.
or you want a DM?
Yeah, obviously you want the world class.
Find a DM. World class DM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, for me, if we last season had Endo plus another guy to share the workload, I think that Premier League title was ours, bro.
Got you.
I've always said that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring in some of these. Wait. Let me make sure I tell everyone. Before we get into our second round of things, I'll bring up some of the chat's wishes here. Norm is saying luck with injuries. That's a good wish, by the way. If we could have the luck that, at least some form of the luck that some of the other top teams that we were contending with had with injuries, that'd be great. Just have better luck in our cases with injuries. Number 2, he says, take our chances more. 3, patience for a slot when we slip up. And 4, win the league, please. Cool. Trap Joe is saying he wants a Champions League trophy. Okay, that's high aspirations. Utilize players properly, better formations, and have some exciting football, not driving the ball backwards. Okay, I get what you're saying by the whole like sideways passes and backward passes rather than going forward. I hear that a lot at the boozer that I go to. You hear that a lot by some of the attendees that surround me, always complaining about us like not going forward. Nolante says VVD and Salah to be rested more. That's a good shout, by the way. Especially considering their age. Dustin saying that the fans don't go crazy, and Nolante's other portions were Trent in the midfield, switch up different formations, and our end product is better. All right. One of the things that I did have in agreement with some of the wishes that were made out there was possibly like my second wish would have been, I'm hoping and wishing that Arnie proves to have that Klopp magic at some point this season. You know, that magic that we all talk about like, oh, Klopp, inspired the boys to go out there and do what we needed to do. You know, those come from behind victories that we got after, going into halftime, and us looking like night and day different teams sometimes when we come out into that second half. I'd like to see us have that kind of, like, we had that moment where it seems that the team is really bought into this coach, and that they are behind and backing this coach because they can see and emulate the same type of appreciation for that coach motivation. That's one of my wishes. How about Lee? Your second wish for the genie? What's your second wish for the genie?
Yeah, I'll have that one that Norman just mentioned about the injuries that we have.
That's a good one.
Under slot.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
Can't be having it the way it's been in the last few seasons. Last season was a piss take with injuries. Don't want to see it again, mate. It was just too many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hyler's saying most people didn't pay attention on how much extra time teams in general played last season. That was created by the new rules, thus adding more time to each match. This caused, in his opinion, more of the injuries. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The stop.
More goals. Anybody that was anybody that was the fantasy football community clicked that very, very early. That clean sheets were going out the window because of the amount of extra time. So more goals were being scored, more clean sheets, and it was very obvious.
Well, less clean sheets, you mean? Yeah, less clean sheets, you mean?
Or sorry, fewer clean sheets. Yeah. And they were going out the window. And it's all because, especially earlier on, like as usual, earlier on in the season with new rules, they kind of go, more full on with the new rules. And there was 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, after the crazy, like they were putting extra 50. And that was after, like, say, 6 minutes stoppage time before halftime. And before halftime, they always just give 2 minutes, unless something crazy has happened. They just give around 2 minutes. You were getting over a quarter of an hour out of some games.
Yeah.
So it was a huge amount of extra minutes being played.
Absolutely. And then you had all the extra fixtures that these guys are playing too.
Yeah. But just quickly to what Judge was saying, Judge said, so if we get a new DM, that means Endo. If we get a new DM, does that mean Endo? Well, let's just assume, Judge, that this guy never got injured. Which would be unlikely. So you have 38 league games in a season. You have 2 cup competitions, and you have a European campaign in the Champions League. There is going to be there's going to be times when we're going to be stuck for a DM because both of them will have a knock, or one will be suspended and the other will have a knock. We bought a guy, so Endo will never play again. Come on, dude. Think about it. What's that in a season? That's like, if you go deep in the cups and you go deep in Europe, plus 38 games, Endo will play a lot of minutes. Even if we bring in a Rodri, there will still be plenty of time for Endo. More than enough.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of talk going on about like what you just brought up. Thanks. Exactly. With the DM, I could foresee that, what you just said. But I think Nolante brought up a great point too. He's actually saying we are not, in his opinion, we are not getting a DM, guys. We are ram-packed in the midfield. We have to sell. which is
we
which
will.
is,
No, we agreed. Yes, because
yes,
and I think we will sell and we will buy. Yeah, no, we
yeah,
are ram packed. We
we
yeah,
are.
100%. We
We
are.
are. That is possibly
Yeah,
possibly the most, most coverage, and that's a unique thing too. The most coverage we have is possibly in midfield. I've heard people
without a
talk
doubt.
about DM, and all things. I get that. That's a specific reason or position that a lot of players want to see refortified. But let's be honest. We got 4 players last year. We brought in 4 players. 4 of those players were midfielders. I understand we had some, exits as well, whether it was Hendo or whether it was Fab and the likes. But we did get 4 new midfielders, and we do have now a Pachetic that's coming back and looking to have a full campaign, and we have obviously I know Clark is going to be going out most likely on loan and those kinds of players. We do have some players that made some emergencies last year too, and McConnell and Clark and the likes, So yeah, we do have a very stacked midfield. There was another comment here in the chat. JK, do you want to give your opinion on that too? Or do you want to give your second wish as well?
Yeah. For me, there's enough games to go around for the squad, So there's no worries if Endo's going to be sulky on the sidelines because he isn't getting game time. As we've seen last season, if we had that extra DM, Endo probably wouldn't have got burnt out. So for me, 2 DMs in a squad, maybe 3 even, it's sort of valuable, especially with all the cup games we've got. What Brian was saying.
Mm-hmm. Well,
okay.
I'll bring up. Oh, go ahead. I thought you were done your point.
I was just going to say my second wish would have been no VAR.
Good luck on that one.
That's my biggest.
Wolves
wish.
already tried that wish. Wolves already tried that wish. It didn't go. It didn't go.
It didn't go nowhere, bro. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. What was our club doing? Not voting against it after the season.
Every club in the Prem voted against it. JK. But Wolves were the only team. Wolves were the only team that voted for it.
That's my.
Just quickly, hi Laura. When I say midfielders, when we're talking in this context, when I say midfielders, I mean players that play or players that played in the 3 in Klopp's 4-3-3 last season. That's who I mean. I know there's various different, but when I'm talking about midfielders that are in our squad, I'm referring to the people that played in the 3 in midfield positions in the 4-3-3 last season. That's when I say we have a lot of midfielders. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about those guys. Elliott, Jones, McAllister, Bajcetic, the list goes on.
Okay. He's asking, here's a lot of people want a new 6 or a DM. More so, I think, hi, Lord, a lot of people want a destroyer. I think a lot of people have been putting out distinctly that they're looking for a destroyer. And what's very unique about that request is that the names that often get brought up after they say we want a destroyer are not destroyers. They're just simply not. So, and even though they possibly could play a destroyer, or maybe they have some highlights that make you think they're the destroyer, they just don't play a destroyer. I mean, I don't even think Rodri is necessarily an out destroyer. I don't think
he's a high quality one is what he is. He's like a scalpel. Other people are like Rodri, he does that job, but he does it at a really kind of clean, elegant level. Like Lee was saying, luxurious. Luxurious kind of, but I just think an endo, right? When you say a destroyer, right? That's just an endo.
That's just an endo. It's just if anything,
younger,
you're looking for an endo.
Yeah, a younger kind of,
younger, better endo.
Yeah, a 26-year-old type guy that does that role, and then so when Mascherano, like that guy that does that. So
Ederson would be his choice.
And then we have one of everything. We have 2 of everything. We have 2 of all the 8s. 2 of all the attacking type, Gravenberch, McAllister types. We've 2 of all of them, but we've only one of the endo type. And I know Hyler gets very,
Do you want that? Do you want 2? I mean, because you.
Yeah, I do. I want 2 of those guys.
If you're gonna have 2 M's, let me ask it. I'll ask you. I'll try to best frame the question for you. do you want 2 destroyer DMs, or would you prefer to have a destroyer DM and just have a, the Regista style DM that possibly, or that Thiago could have played, or Bichetic might play for us, or something like that, as in that player? Because Norm brought up a question, or brought up a point here, and it was a good point. At least I believe it was a good point. He says we conceded a few goals from Virgil playing a pass into McAllister last season, but that was from him playing. That was from McAllister playing deep to retrieve the ball deep. Playing in that DM role, trying to be a deep, retrieving the ball deep in the lines, and not really having the touches that we would have liked to seen, and the ability to dribble and use his pace to get past certain players and the likes. Do you want? I mean, could you then contend to say we already have our DM situation pretty much settled? I get that we want a better destroyer, but we have a destroyer, and let's focus on Bichetic being that other option when it comes to whether we want to go
on the pitch. No. Sorry,
Yeah.
on the pitch, no. In the squad, yeah. I want a guy that's able to do the endo role, which is that role, and I want to have 2 of them. But yeah,
Right.
and I want to have a Bicetic, and I want to have. That's when in your squad. Yeah. Like I'm saying, yeah, I want two destroy. I want someone who does what Endo does on the pitch, right? Mm-hmm. And is that good that you can take the ball? You see, that's the thing. Some of these guys are that good. Makalele or Makante was very good on the ball, so you can get these guys. They can receive it from the back and turn. And I think that's what I mean. We're Liverpool. We should be able to get someone who can do that kind of job. And then Endo is the second guy in that role. And then you got to buy Sedic. We've got room for all of them, but we don't. We need to probably trim 2 from the midfield. And then we can talk about it. But we got rid of a big chunk of wages with Matip and Thiago going as well, so that shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, I mean, nobody can argue that we're not over subscribed in midfield at the moment.
How about even the Tyler Morton? Someone saying, Nilati saying no one's mentioning Tyler Morton or Clark.
Yeah, Clark, you said he's going out on loan, right?
Yeah, he's most likely going to be going out on loan. It hasn't. I don't think it's been announced, or it's not listed on. It's definitely not listed on the Liverpool website just yet. But it looks like he's going to be going to RB on loan. But he's got a back injury. He was reportedly going to be a part of, in case that deal didn't go through. He was going to be a part of the actual U.S. tour, but because of the back injury and because of those things, he hasn't been featured for RB or for us. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about Dan's. Did Dan's go on loan too? Jaden Dance is on loan. I didn't see that be announced.
I heard it. Yeah.
I think he's on to Plymouth. I think.
Is he? Okay.
Plymouth.
That's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
That's an interesting club. That's a club that doesn't that we have that when a lot of these clubs that we've been talking about,
way down south.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be with. Well, that'd be interesting. He'll be with Rooney then.
Yep.
Oh wow, Rooney's gone to Plymouth. Right. Okay. Yeah. Few Scouse connections. Pull a few strings there, maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes a bit more sense. Okay, fine. I was wondering why he didn't go on. I knew. Yeah. When he wasn't away with the boys as well, I thought, okay.
Yeah, because I feel he would be wasted. No, actually, I wouldn't say wasted, but I just feel like he needs regular game time midweek Saturday, and he knows he's going to be playing them games. With Liverpool, he don't know if he's going to be playing. He will play probably the FA Cup game, maybe this, that, and the other, but that's in January. So for me, him going on loan was very important for him to be playing every week now, because the guy's big. He's a built guy, he's solid. He needs games now. So I think it's a good move for him.
Good to see.
What are they? They must be League One max, right? Are they League One?
Yeah, they're League One.
League One.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that's not too. Yeah, I was thinking League Two would be a bit. He's
Yeah,
going to
that'd be a
rip.
bit harsh. That'd be a bit
He'll
harsh.
rip up
Yeah.
League One, man. He's going to rip up League One if he stays fit.
Yeah, because they got relegated last season. Yeah, Plymouth. Yeah,
He
yeah.
should be the mark, yeah.
I'd be keeping an eye on him at Plymouth, man. He could be doing 20 goals a season. Like that's we
That's what
saw
he
what he
needs.
can do. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly what he needs. Imagine him coming back; he'd be flying high off of that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a young one. Yeah.
Another name that is reportedly is I'm seeing the reports come in. Another name also is Luke Chambers is also going to Wigan Athletic.
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay.
So those are two names, two of our youth players, promising youth players that are most likely on the move to kind of
Chambers is the left back, isn't he? Is he left back?
Luke
Chambers?
yes.
Cool. Okay, so Beck
Yep.
and Chambers, both of the left backs have gone out on loan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So and Robbo is potentially injured. So just saying. Maybe keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
I was trying to see. Yes, he's in the championship. I was double checking on Plymouth where they are at actually too.
oh no, they're still in the championship. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
still in the
okay.
championship. They're still in the championship.
Oh, okay.
They're still in
Slightly
championship.
different then, but I'd still expect him to impress. Yeah, I was thinking it was low, man. I think it's low for him to go, but maybe the Rooney thing. Because we were talking yesterday about where we'd like to see our players going. I mean, we were all kind of talking higher level championship. League One is quite the drop down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would make a bit more sense that they're in the championship, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So if he could do a full season there, get 10 or 12 goals, sure, they play about 50 games a season in the championship, don't they? They play I think it's 46, isn't it?
Oh, how many games? They play quite a few
In the
games.
championship, yeah, it's like 46 game season, so he's going to get a lot of football.
Yeah, and they also to go on with Luke Chambers did have it. He already had a previous term spell with Wigan. Looks like he's going to be returning to Wigan once again. I don't know if that's Wigan trying to figure out a way to secure his services permanently or not, but
maybe.
But yeah, they look to be very, very happy with him rejoining them. That's what they're saying, or at least that's the not what they're saying, but at least that's the likes of that. What's your third wish then? I'll get to my third wish as well. But before we go, my third wish was exactly what we were just saying. I'm wishing that Bajcetic eases the cry for a number 6. I know everyone wants a number 6. I get it. But my wish is that Bajcetic becomes that player that can get deep, retrieve the ball, be able to turn, be able to either advance the ball through progressive carries, or if not through his passing acclimate. I'm hoping that he could actually be that guy for us when it comes to our number 6. I was going to say Gravenberch, to be honest with you, just in all honesty. I was going to say Gravenberch in that name too, because I like
found your Thiago replacement. So
yeah, but basically my Thiago replacement. Yeah, from one Spaniard to another, that kind of replacement.
Just a bit too young, I think. Yeah, just a little bit too young for.
Or that shout for sure. Yeah. Go ahead. What
Who's
would be
next?
what would be your third wish, then, Irishman? I'll let you go since you're weighing in.
What a number 3. Yeah, okay. My number 3 genuine wish, hope would be, because I don't want to end on negative, so I'll do a negative now. I really hope we sell Darwin Núñez and we buy someone better than him. I think we just say, we cut the cord and we say thanks very much. And this is just my personal wish, but that we just go out. Someone gives us 50 million quid and we go out and we get a guy who comes in and bangs 22 goals in the league next season and 30 in all comps. That would be my wish. Yeah. we don't have to go through a whole another season of Darwin and all the stuff that goes with it. And we just get rid, cut the cord, like I say. But who knows with this other thing that's coming up. But that would be it. Yeah, just do that and bring in a guy that just fires, does it. But don't know who it is. Don't ask me who it is. But the wish bit is that, yeah, that happens.
Okay. All right. I believe our two other panelists are indisposed right at the very moment. So
yeah, like
we'll
even if it was some like Ozyman or something like that, like Ozyman, it doesn't fall through. PSG are kind of faffing around, and we bring him in, and he turns out to be as good as he was in Italy. That would be my
Robbie's with you. He's saying he would sell Darwin for and Diaz for Victor and Tony. I don't know about that one.
Oh, for Victor Ozyman. Oh, okay, right. Sorry, I was saying who's Victor and Tony. No. Yeah, I don't know about Tony. Oh, Victor from Sporting. Oh, okay. I was thinking you would put Ozyman, right? Yeah, Victor from Sporting. I don't know that guy. Sorry. Victor from Sporting. Oh, Gjorkes. That guy, the guy that ripped it up at Coventry. Yes. The guy that ripped it up at Coventry. Yeah. He went to what he scored like 35 in Portugal or something. Yeah, the guy from who let him go? He was at a big club and they let him go. Was he at City or he was at someone big and they let him go when he ended up at Coventry? And now everyone's like, oh, he's like 70 million quid, this guy. He was definitely at a big club and JK will know because
he was at Brighton. He was at Brighton.
Oh, it was only Brighton. Okay, sorry. Well, I knew it was a Premier League.
Only Brighton.
It wasn't. Well, I was thinking it was a big six club, like a Chelsea dropped the ball on them or something, but it was Brighton. Very unusual for them.
Yeah, but Brighton was the original. Brighton was the original group that bought him from, I believe, some Swedish team. I want to say. You see what they have an IF for the. He
is Swedish. IFK Gothenburg, probably.
Oh no, it's a name that I don't. Another name.
Oh, it's one of those other ones. Oh.
IF Brahma Poikarna. Maybe it was the same name that was just actually offered earlier. No, I don't think so. But IF Brahma Poikarna. I think it actually was the same name that was offered earlier. And they went to Brighton. Then he went to a bunch of different teams. He was at Swansea City. Maybe is that the team you're thinking of? That's not really a big six team either, but he was at Coventry City, like you said. Yeah. And then he went to and then he eventually found his way to Brighton again, and then back to Coventry, and then finally to City. Sporting, excuse me. Finally to Sporting.
I watched him play.
No, I'm not really sold on the Ivan Toney thing. The Ivan Toney thing sold. I get Ivan Toney.
JK, you watched him?
Yeah, I've seen Gyökeres play live a few times. He's good, but is he Arsenal like that level good? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
but that's their choice. And also for me, Tony, I wouldn't stop Darwin for Tony. Like Tony, when he came after his ban, he was on fire. He was on fire, and then what happened? He sort of deteriorated. He didn't really do nothing at the end of the season. For me, Tony, top. I like that guy as a player. He's all right, but I would never sell him for Darwin. No way.
I don't think. Yeah, I just don't think. All
Tony's nearly 30 now, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He just doesn't fit the. He doesn't fit the age profile that we use normally. Is he that much of a needle mover? I don't think so.
You take him in your squad. He's one of those guys where if he's in your squad, you'd be like, "Oh, that's deadly," because we've got Tony that can come on, when
or vice versa.
Yeah. He's great in the cup games, but he'd want to be like they'd want a load of money, and he'd want to be the man. And like I said, 28. 28.
Yes, he's 28.
If he came in and he scored 25 goals a season for 2 years, right? That's like I said, the old school kind of thing. You bring someone in. and you get your numbers for 2 years. But they don't look at it now. They look at the price, they look at the length of the contract, they look at the age, they look at all of that, and they just think, no. Whereas for me, like I say, if you were stuck for a striker, he's shown he'll score goals in the Premier League. You can't deny that. But would I go out and buy the guy? No, I'm not going out and buying the guy because he doesn't move the needle in a lot of reasons, which unfortunately also come into play. But whatever you want to call the optics of it or whatever, but he's a kind of 2 years ago, if he goes to Arsenal, everyone's like, wow, big deal. But now it's like, would you call him tainted goods? Tainted kind of a little bit. I think he is, and I don't know. I don't think he's an advertiser's dream, and he's not doing any betting ads anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But for me, 28 is not a bad age. It's not really a bad age.
Jesus, I wish I was 28 again.
You know what I mean? I played my best football at 31.
I know, yeah. Me too, yeah. 30, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's why it makes me laugh when I hear fans and people, the media saying, oh, he's finished, he's 30, 31, he's finished. Not really,
Yeah.
Let's see, what else was there? There was one other question. Norm, I am not doing a watch along for the game today. That was a question in the chat, and then there was a question from Judge. Judge Red asked this question to the panel, and then I'll ask for your third choice on the left or on the right side, depending on how you're looking at the screen. Your third wish. But Judge Red asks, what do you think of the Yilmaz Lynx? 25 million seems like an FSG deal. That's definitely right. That's certainly right in their wheelhouse when it comes to pulling the trigger on them. I know that the other player, the other winger, Bakayoko, right? Is that how you pronounce his name? Right? He was right around in that range, the 25 million range. We didn't pull the trigger on that deal, obviously, as of yet. How do you feel about? Yeah, real quick. Any of the panelists that have actually seen him play?
Yeah, because I watched all the Turkish games. In the end of the tournament, Yilmaz put a lot of graft in. He's a hard worker, but he got no goals and no assists in that tournament. So for me, he's a workhorse. That's about it. No goals, no assists in 5 games. It's not really great, is it?
Yeah.
He's prolific. He's prolific at club level. He's ridiculously prolific at club level. And he, like JK is saying there, he didn't notch. But it's like if you kind of combined Dirk Kuyt and Jota, that like super hard work and play across the line, but he can seriously finish as well. Another guy who I take in our squad all day. But do you go out and bite it? Like he's like you put him in. He'll work super hard. And he won't let you down, and he can finish.
This isn't the is this the club? I think that have we moved away from that? I mean, all I hear about is end result, end product, end result. When it comes
he'll give you end product. Don't worry, he'll give you end product. That's what I'm saying. If you want hard work, he'll give you that, but he'll give you end product as well. But not in the Euros. But hey, look, that Euros is something different. But can we wrap this up? Has Mo had a hair transplant? Is that?
This was when I get wrapped up. Oh yeah.
Well, everyone was talking about that. In the chat. Is this? Why did he? He has a load of hair, right?
He had enough hair.
Yeah, he had. Why?
He had a load of hair. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just the style he's cut it. The way he's cut it. It just looks like he's had something done, but he hasn't. It just looks like that because even I was a bit like, So that looks a bit different. It's the style he's got there.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's doing the hair compliment thing or not. But I do know that since shaving his head, there has been a lot of talks. I mean, like, maybe it's just he's just trying to get a new. He's just going for a fresh look. He's just trying to. He's trying to get that new beginning.
New
it's a new coach,
season.
new era. And he's just trying. And let's be honest, like I understand he was the standard charter player of the season for us last year, but let's be honest, like as in at the end of the year. The end of the year brought on a lot of frustrations for Mo. Let's be honest. And those frustrations were, his inabilities to really get fit and healthy was probably front and center. And as a player getting older and all of a sudden dealing with injuries, I'm sure it was probably frustrating. So maybe that's why he wanted to get the fresh cut and just go with a new beginning.
Well, who is our? You mentioned the standard Charters Player of the Year. Like I said, they just did their job there because you mentioned their name and Mo Salah, and that's the whole thing. Who won the Fans Player of the Year? Does anyone know who won the actual Fans Player of the Year and won the actual Liverpool Player of the Year? Because I'd be interested to know who did the fans vote for? Because that's always that's
main
the
one.
Yeah, I don't care about all these, individual, but who the fans vote for is the only one that is genuinely kind of interesting. I would hazard a guess and say
Virgil probably.
McAllister, maybe got the fans vote.
I think McAllister probably would have. Yeah.
Maybe because he was one of the new guys and he had a good season. I don't know though, but we didn't have we didn't have an amazing season. When you look back, it was good.
We did until January, February.
Kind of, yeah. We didn't have a huge kind of obvious standout player though, did we?
My favourite player was Gomez for his consistency in four positions. He didn't just play right back, left back, centre back. He played the number 6 as well, at least twice, Joe Gomez. So for his consistency in 4 different positions, I gave it to Joe.
Same as.
My individual.
He was making the bruise at half time as well.
Say again.
He was making the bruise at half time, cup of tea at half time as well, Gomez.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how important it was. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know where we would look for that Irishman actually to find out the fans player of the season. I don't know where we would look for that.
Google.
Oh well, I just already Googled it. That's why I'm saying I don't know where.
It didn't show up. It didn't show up like 20. Oh, okay. Maybe it hasn't. All right.
There was the closest thing I saw on here was they showed the standard Charters men's player of the season, blah blah blah. But the closest thing was this is Anfield, so that they gave a shout. They actually had the shout that they have player of the season is the player I have as the player of the season. I know that a lot of people didn't really. I don't want to say didn't really, but. I don't even say a lot of people, but I would have gone with Virgil van Dijk as my player of the season personally. I can understand Macca is a shout. I understand. I mean, like everyone's personal opinions are all warranted.
I was just trying to guess who got it. I wasn't saying he was mine. I was just trying to guess who got it.
Yeah.
Who would have got it? And JK said Virgil.
JK said Virgil. You did say Virgil.
He would have guessed. He would have guessed Virgil. So
I would have gone with Virgil.
I just think the fans, because the way the fans like new things, I think they would have voted for Mac because he's a new player, basically.
Oh, I think
that really would have been it.
Macca wins for sure. You're right about that.
I think he would have got.
Well, let's do an impromptu little test then. In the chat, who was your player of the season? And we'll see what the people say. We got a nice number of people in the chat, so just tell us who was your player of the season.
One for Verge.
One for Verge, yep.
Verge, because after for it being his debut season as captain, you know what I mean? He did do well initial season as captain, but Joe also done well in 4 different positions, whereas Verge only played 1.
We're getting this in.
Yeah, got 3.
Yeah, I mean, there's Yeah, they're going all Burge, Macca, Joe. Joe was from Bernie. Bonker said Mac 10. Nolante said Gomez. Okay.
2 for Joe, 2 for Mac.
Yep. Jimmy's trying to split
sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
Jimmy sitting on. Come on, splinters, arse, get off the fence, Jimmy.
Yeah. Nolante saying that when he did a Google search, it came up with Salah as being the players.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see one that says like an outright.
That's pretty tight, man. I mean, you're looking at 2 and
Keller
2
can get a
and
shout.
2 and 1.
Bonkers.
I don't think anybody's coming out ahead of anything there. Like everyone's getting. It looks like a kind of a tie. Kind of.
Yeah.
I call that as a tie between Darwin, Virgil, and even almost kind of Joe Gomez. Because it's. So I think split decision almost really would make just by looking at it, you've got 2 for Gomez. Lee's gone with Gomez.
Yep.
You've got 2 for Virgil. You got another. You went with Virgil. You got 2 for McAllister. I don't even. Yeah, who would I go for? I suppose. I should have gone what I did the first time. Yeah, I will. I'll back it up, and I'll say Gomez as well.
Okay.
Even
that's 3
though
for Gomez.
Yeah, even though it's very split. It's very split. But yeah, that's looks like
agreed, Norm. By the way, that's the one of the major reasons why I'm giving it to Virgil.
Oh, the cup final winner. Oh yeah, that's I suppose extra points for.
I get some extra points. That the only reason why we can say that we have a cup title this year or have any title from the previous year is because of Virgil. And he played phenomenal. He won player of the match in that game too, but he was phenomenal in that game, by the way, too. He was absolutely phenomenal. Playing with youngsters that definitely played above and beyond. But he was phenomenal. Definitely phenomenal.
Well, someone had to play him the assist. Someone had to play the ball. But he came up clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Simi? Was it Simi? Nice. Well remembered. Nice.
That's why Simicast was
came up clutch.
Trying to check if he was having a baby or something afterwards.
Yeah,
that's a good shout. Norm is.
Oh, the way Virgil was like,
I don't know if I think
what's the brother doing?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
we're on TV too, man. What are you doing?
Oh, too funny.
Yeah, you made that hella awkward. Oh man, but Simicast has the ability to really really do that sometimes.
Yeah.
His sense of humor is odd sometimes. For sure.
Just a quick thing, we were talking about the Turkish right winger Barış. What do you guys think of their left back?
Always very
right-footed. He's for me. I'd go for him. I think.
Yeah.
He plays the game well.
He had a great Euros.
He did.
He really, yeah.
That's right, Norm. He did. Simicast did have a big. He won us the FA Cup final and was the assist maker in the League Cup. You're absolutely right. He was the one that
Simicast. Yeah.
Simicast stepped up and he was confident in that in stepping up for that penalty. He was very confident. I was like, okay, Simi, I got you.
Yeah. You can't look like he does and lack confidence. I'm sorry. You can't walk around with tats in here like that and not have confidence. Yeah, I think he's probably got plenty of that. But Kelleher, again, but that's a great show because Kelleher as well. Kelleher saving the penalty and scoring the winning penalty. Like in that Klopp era, there are those moments that that if you look at them, it's the Simicasses and the Kellehers that even. Yeah, everyone talks about Mo and all of these boys, but we had like those reserve players or whatever you want to call them have huge memories. Like Kelleher can look back and go, I remember scoring the winning penalty. The same with Simicast. These boys have had real moments with the club. It hasn't always been about the Divock Origi, These boys have had So
it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. We're talking about and Nolante's like, let me pour a little water on that fire real quick. The semi-gas fire. Big up, Nolante. Big up. He's saying sell.
Yeah, he wants him out.
I'm
selling them for the right price too. Don't worry about it. I'm selling them for the right. Anyone gets close to 25 million for Simicast? Yes, please.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I was going to say, look, there is a question from Ravi. I'll bring this up before we get to our last wish here. Ravi asked, if Liverpool don't beat Ipswich Town in the Prem, then what?
We're beating them.
It's not easy. Yeah. And what Youssef said is right, too. He says he hates the fact we play a newly promoted team away from home at 12:30, and he means on the very first day of the season. That does feel like a little bit of a, little punch.
It's a troll.
Like 12:30 on the opening day. Is this a piss take?
No, it's a troll. It's a complete troll. Yeah, it's the PFA. It's the whatever. It's just an utter troll.
Yeah,
but that's what I was on about. Only Wolves are the only team that moaned about VAR, and Liverpool actually agreed to keep it on. So there you go. Then they probably deserve it that we get that kickoff. For me, that was a chance for Liverpool to kick off with that VAR topic and get it out the game. And what did they do? They didn't even vote. Yeah, let's get rid of it. They kept it. Nah, it's all right. We keep it. So for me, that 12:30 kickoff one, it's the way it goes. Simple as.
That's an interesting take. I wouldn't have personally taken that take, but okay, that's an interesting take.
You don't have an half-12 kickoff on the opening day. I've not seen. I didn't know. Was the one last year? Was the one last season? I know it wasn't us, but
no, they do Friday night now, man. The last
they do Friday night.
They've had Friday night is the first.
United are doing it.
Yeah.
The last. I think it's definitely 3 seasons.
Bloody night.
Yeah, last season, the first kickoff was a Friday night, and I think the season before that was the first time that the first game was a Friday night.
Friday, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is at least year 3 now of the first kickoff being, a stupid fucking Friday night. Sorry.
Yes, night games.
A stupid Friday night game.
We've had night games for a long time in this country.
Not Friday nights.
No one gives a shit what night it is because it's night. You know what I mean? What we're angry about is 12:30 in the daytime when nobody's woke the bloody hell up yet, and then you've got them when players have been on international duty and only returned a few hours before the 12 kickoff. It's just bullshit, mate. We used to night kickoffs night on. We don't give a shit what night they're on. Friday, Sunday, fucking Tuesday. It doesn't matter. The night kickoffs and that's all right. We don't want 12 noon kickoffs. It's ridiculous.
Wow, little
it's actually a cheat. It's actually a cheat to expect fans to be all pumped up and ready for the match at 12 in the afternoon. Basically, it's a morning kickoff. That's the morning, not the afternoon.
Yeah,
that's the morning.
150 miles away from Liverpool or 200 miles away from you're getting in a car at 4 in the morning or getting on a bus at 4 in the morning.
In East Anglia. On an early Saturday morning.
Yeah.
They must hate us.
Yeah. That's a 6-hour drive.
No.
Yeah. No, I guarantee you that's a 6-hour drive from Liverpool.
Yeah,
that's a 6-hour drive from Liverpool.
Yeah.
8 miles away.
Fuck that shit.
Wait, 150 miles, 6-hour drive for you?
No, in England, that'd be a 6-hour drive.
From Liverpool to Ipswich is about 5 hours, I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Total opposite ends of the country. Liverpool's on the west and Ipswich, Norwich are on the east coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's Bernie was saying apparently we had the most early kickoffs in the world last year, not just the Prem.
That's wow. There you go.
That's what Bernie is saying. That's the whole point. Like there's they can't like they don't draw highways in straight lines for 300 miles. Like it's 10 miles this way, 10 miles. There's all the motorways end. They go up through there's no motorways into East Anglia.
Gotcha.
So you literally go on back roads basically till you get to the towns after you break off the motorway. So
Yeah.
literally, like that's why Norwich, those places, they're
what do
the
you have to
worst
like?
to get to.
You have to wait for the.
There's just no motor. There's no
You have to wait
motorways
for the sheep
basically.
to get off the pathway or something.
You've got to know where you're going. Yeah, you're going to be going down some probably normal, just standard roads. You know, with like, yeah, it is. It's not great. It's not great. Like, you can't. I don't know. Look, you could fly. You know, but that's not a thing there. You know, the easiest thing the airport. I know people.
Is there
there.
a train that goes there? Is there a train? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
No,
Must be.
people. Trains in England, man, that ain't something you want to get involved in. They cost a fortune.
Okay.
And there's probably, but you're
You
expecting
probably have to
people
go
to
London
drive.
first.
Yeah, they basically expect people to drive or get coaches. You get coached, you get coaches. That's it. It's road traffic, basically in England. Still to this day, unless you're in London, where today, like literally, JK, the boys, they'll tell you, Arsenal have their own tube stop, basically. And that is a brand new. That's a really new kind. Like that's a very expensive thing, and you can only get that in London.
How yeah, for them.
Exactly. So you can basically come out of the Emirates and you go down, you walk a bit, and you basically walk into a tube. Which in London, like it's great. That's the best thing about London. It's great. The tube is amazing. It's brilliant. Every 100 yards is a little set of steps, and you go down there, and within 2 minutes you can get on a train to France.
Yeah. By the way, those going to the Philadelphia game, you can do that too. We don't call it the tube; we call it a subway. But you can take the tube or the subway, like pretty much straight to the actual. There's a stop right at where all the sporting facilities are in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Ground.
But there's nothing else in that area other than those things, like all the sporting facilities, like where the NFL play and where the NBA play and where even NHL play are all in the same place. They're all like next to each other. Where the baseball stadium is, all the stadiums are next to each other. So there's a stop on the train that you can, once you get off, you just have to, whichever event you're going to, you can actually just
I've heard that in the Premier League, your ground has to hold 70,000 and no less for you to have a train station. You can't have a 61,000 ground and have a train station next to it. It's not allowed in England. Apparently, you have to have a 70,000 to get a train station.
Yeah, Norman saying there they gave us Newcastle away in 08. They left at midnight and got there 10:20 in the morning.
Oh my goodness,
mad!
That is mad.
Like, Newcastle is basically in Scotland.
Yeah,
you have to wait in crew for sure. Newcastle is basically in Scotland, but like Liverpool isn't in London. Can you imagine being a Southampton fan and having to go to Newcastle?
Yeah. That's it's gonna be an interesting. I don't want to have to wait. I'm gonna have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. So to watch this, or probably at 4:00 in the morning, I'll probably have to wake up to watch this game, to watch our opening game. Trust me, it's not gonna be fun considering that I won't be able.
It's a banana skin.
You won't be able to get a pint because here in America you can only you have to wait till 6 a.m. So from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. is like the moratorium.
No drinky time.
Yeah, you can't drink. So you have to wait till 6 a.m. and then we can go to the pub and we'll go, like the supporter club that I go to. We'll go to that pub. We'll go. You can have breakfast. Fortunately, it has food there, so you can have food and waters or Red Bulls to keep you up. And then you have to wait till 6 a.m. for you to actually get a pint if you want, or a drink if you want. An alcoholic drink. It's kind of interesting. Let's get this fourth wish in real quick before we end this segment here. Let's just go around the horn. We'll start at Irishman, go to JK, then go to Lee. Let's just see. Your last wish what is your last wish that you want to see from this upcoming season? What is the last wish that you want to see?
Again, yeah, probably. I said I wanted to finish on the positive, but it is going to be kind of negative. I just hope that. No, I just hope that Slot gets his chance.
Okay.
I just,
You're gonna say
I just
Scott
hope
out or
it.
something. Considering you want to
No,
talk
no,
about
no.
that.
I just hope. No, no. I just hope it doesn't go wrong, and it doesn't go wrong quickly, or like because Ipswich is a huge banana skin. It's like everything we just talked about in terms of the
Yeah.
travel, the kickoff time, and a hugely raucous fan base, a very good manager with a very good team, with a lot of time to prepare, that are back in the Premier League for the first time in a long time. It's got banana skin written all over it, as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't, and that would be back foot straight away. So I just hope, like someone said, like if it, there will be trials and tribulations, but I just hope that he gets. Yeah, I just hope it work. He gets a good run at the start, and he gets his feet under the table, and people start to back him. Because if that doesn't kind of materialize, then we know what our fan base is like, and the fact that he's come after Klopp, I think he's kind of taken on the impossible job himself. So he needs a lot of good luck to go. So that's because I don't really need the drama of us not doing well under a new manager. It just, there's no need for it. So I just think Champions League progression, all of that, but no stupid results. At the end of the season, let's just turn around. Oh, we finished third. Okay, cool. And no drama, just no drama, and everyone's, oh, he plays good football. He's all right. I didn't think much about him. I didn't know anything about him, but yeah, he's all right. I'll take him for a couple of years. Fine. That's all they want. There's just no drama around Slot, because there's so many people out there. They kind of got they've got like the gun already loaded, and they're just waiting to kind of click it, and they're just waiting.
Oh, there's already been Slot out. There's already been people saying.
Oh, they don't want it to go well. Like, they want us to lose.
There you go.
Against Ipswich, they want us to lose against someone else, so that they can come out and be bang, bang, bang. That's what they want to do. They're waiting for it.
Yeah,
because they know we'll get views.
He's got a very, very tough opening to his Premier League
life,
era in life, I guess you want to call it. You're right, because I mean, the Ipswich thing is the banana peel that you said that could be possibly able for him to slip on, but I mean, it doesn't get any easier. We also have United, very, very early in the campaign, So
could be a good thing if we win. Away from home to a newly promoted side is not your dream pick as an opening day fixture. Away from home to a team that's got the promotion bounce is not where you want to go on day one. But that's where we're going, and we'll have to deal with it and try and win that game and take it from there. But I think if we can get off to a winning start, like Brian says, we can definitely start the season well. After that, you know what I mean? There'll be other games we can win there. We can win at United. We can go to Old Trafford and win. So
for me,
I'm up for it, mate. I'm up for whatever's coming up. I think we're right up there to win these games. I think But
I think Brentford. I think Brentford is a banana peel game.
But I won't cry.
I think
for me, I'm looking at that the first game as an FA Cup third round tie. That's what I'm looking at that Ipswich Town game as. So for me, I'm not looking at that as a Premier League game. I'm just looking at that game like it's an FA Cup third round. We're playing the first game of the round. And for me, I don't really see that as a banana skin, because for me, we're Liverpool Football Club. These guys they haven't been in the Premier League since years. So they'll have that bounce, no doubt, the fans and stuff. But for me, Virgil van Dijk as captain, he's got to be proper that we're going to win that first game. So I'm not really looking at that first game with that banana skin, because for me, what Brian was just saying, there was agendas when Klopp wasn't doing great, and there was fans who say they were Liverpool fans who were saying, I want Klopp to lose so we can get him out of here. And that's an agenda fan, No true Liverpool fan will go into that first game and saying, we want Slot to lose it so we can get rid of him. So I'm not a big fan of Arne Slot yet. Why? Because we don't know too much about the lad. But I don't want Liverpool to lose for him to leave. That's not a real Liverpool fan.
Okay. Norm is saying we will all get behind him now. Would he have been Norm's choice? No, but we all have different opinions. But we are Liverpool and we support our manager. So let's welcome him and back him now. Yes, definitely. Arnie Slot. La 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 la. Right? Is that how it goes?
It's more of his interviews lately, the ones that he has done. And I watched that Ian Rush interview on ESPN earlier 12, the one you recommended.
Yeah. Yeah,
I watched that, I enjoyed that with Stevie Nicol and Ian Rush on ESPN. Yeah, it was a good one, that.
Yeah. I think I sent it to JK too. I sent it to Brian as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know I send you guys like little clips or little things, maybe to cap your interest, or like the El Nino stuff that I like to, that YouTube apparently knows I love to watch. Apparently,
I watched two Torres videos today, back to back for about 40 minutes. Yeah, one
always
was
get you in the right mood, right? Get you in the step. You're like,
well, it reminded me of something that I had forgotten about what happened in the aftermath when he moved to Chelsea, and we're talking about interviews, and he actually did give a very, very poorly judged interview, talking about how he was finally at a club where he could win things, and he finally felt that he was at a big club, and that was something that I'd forgotten about. I remember at the time, but that went down.
How the journey?
No, how he had finally moved. How he had finally. Well, no, he said. I'll say he said that he was happy to finally be at a big club that felt he could win things. After he moved from Liverpool to Chelsea, in case anyone's missing that, and he now felt like he was in a position where he could achieve what he wanted, which, I mean, that's not really great. So, but then the next clip they showed was there was banners because his debut was against Liverpool, in case Chelsea debut, and there was banners in the Kop, basically saying like listing all our trophies versus Chelsea's trophies, saying you call that a big club and all this stuff. And I kind of forgotten about that. He kind of went nuclear a bit when he left. It was like, yeah, whoever told you to say that, man? No, but it shows you how good he was that most people have kind of forgotten about that. But it was such a big thing. Yeah, there was banners in the Kop saying, "You're calling us a small club. You're saying you're at a big club now."
Whoever interviewed him for that obviously led him up the garden path. Like there was inducement and incitement to say this. Like they probably.
It was a Sky Sports one. It was a Sky Sports interview.
Oh, well, there you go. Then it feels like we know what the motivation was there.
Yeah. I'll tell you the truth. Like there was an interview that he gave. There's an actual interview that he gave about. He was asked, what was the issue, basically, just to get down to it. Like basically, what was the issue when he moved on to Chelsea, and why it just didn't click the way it did at Liverpool. And he basically said in an interview that when he got there were a lot of big names and people already there, and because he didn't hit the ground running from the very beginning, because he mentioned the fact that he started to play better towards the end of that first season, at least. That narrative had already grown to such a fever pitch by that time that there was never any real ability to chisel that down again, or work.
But he went 9 games. I think he went his first 9 games without scoring for Chelsea after becoming the record transfer fee, and then he did. But then it was the next season. I think he went 900. I was listening. He went 1,000 minutes without scoring a goal, and then the following season he only scored like 4 in the league or something. But he did brilliant for them in Europe and stuff. But his knees were gone. His hamstrings were gone.
when they won it, he got them through against Barca, didn't he?
In the semi-final, yeah. Well, it was 1-1. He got the. But his hamstrings are gone. Like
I get that. I get that.
Yeah, he said like Abramovich had tried to buy him 2 years before he went to Liverpool, and he ignored all the warning signs. He'd been injured more and more and more and more and more. And but like you said, they had Drogba and they had Anelka.
Right, that was the actual graphic that they had in the background because he was speaking on he's saying that the relationships that he made at Liverpool were different than the relationships that he made at Chelsea. Chelsea had already had other names that were already big name scorers and the likes, but yet there was no real automatic connectivity between them.
It was the first time he wasn't the main man.
Yeah,
he was the main man at Atletico. Basically, he was the main man at Liverpool. And he went to Chelsea. It was the same thing happened to Shevchenko. Mourinho was like, "Don't buy me Shevchenko. I'm playing Drogba, and I'm only playing one up top. Don't buy Shevchenko, Roman." And Roman was like, "Guess what, Jose?
Yeah, I bought.
There's someone I want you to meet."
Yeah. Oh man, like bringing home a new puppy, right, or something like that.
Yeah, and he cost about 50 million quid, and he kind of wants to play.
So we already got your fourth. We got your fourth. Right. We got your fourth. We got JK. We got your fourth as well, I believe, right? Your fourth wish.
Yeah. No, my fourth wish is just direction. For me, it's direction. That the club, we knew which direction we're going. I just want that Arnie gets into the job and shows the club and the fans direction. That's my fourth wish. Yeah.
Look at that. Okay. Bernie with writing the lyrics. I like it. Lee, what's your fourth wish?
That Manchester United finished lower than 8th. Which was last year's finishing position, wasn't it? So let's have them going the right way. If they've been going the right way of late, let's have them go even further the right way, which is south. In the southern table anyway, like, you know what I mean?
Or they could move south if you could send them to London, just finish the whole job. Easier for most of their fans to go and see him.
If it's too much to ask that they finish lower than 8th, then I'll be circumspect in manner with my wishing, and I'll wish for Andre Trindade, because we were going to get him, and he's quite cheap, and he is a number 6 who can play as well. He's not just a destroyer, Trindade, is he? He can play.
Oh, Andre. Oh, sorry, Andre from
Brazil. From Brazil.
Yeah.
Be a shout. Yeah. I don't understand whatever happened to that whole
exactly. Did you ever get that
it was Andre fever for a hot minute, and then all of a sudden,
30 million quid is not a big wish thing. That's why I said I'll be circumspect in manner, and I am being circumspect in manner. I'm asking for a £30 million signing.
But you remember then it was like, he's not come. But he signed for Fulham.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that?
That I think Paulinho not moving kind of like made that die out.
Probably, true.
And then and now that Paulinho is going to move, it's notable that those rumors have started to generate just a little bit at least.
Well, we want him. We still want him. We'll have him. We'll have him to play with Basheta, Chorendo,
he's tiny, isn't he?
Whoever.
Tiny guy.
I'm not tiny.
To end this, my fourth wish, I guess, for this upcoming summer or upcoming campaign, goes against. I guess luckily I get if I get my wish, it might counteract the Irishman's wish, which is I wish that Darwin does catch lightning in a bottle. I know I put that clip out there, or I brought that not the clip, but the segment up there for the ESPN FC segment that you watched, Lee, about Ian Rush and what he had to say. on, and they spoke on Darwin. They spoke on how, and Ian Rush is a fan of Darwin. He thinks, I know that he is in a role being an ambassador, so it's very unlikely that ambassadors are going to speak ill or poorly of the players, from the team. But it's not Bayern Munich settings, at least, and we don't, and it's not it's not Dutch national team settings. But I would go as far as to say my fourth wish would be for Darwin settles into his role as our number 9. And what I mean by that is he becomes a target man for our number 9. And he also he gets to utilize being able to put some of the naysayers at his foot, and or in his trail, and move forward with just scoring goals for us, and being happy, being that spark, being that fun little spark on the pitch that we've all come, or at least most of us have come to love and see. He's a night. There's something about Darwin that definitely draws you to root for him, and that's something that I hope that he finds. And sometimes,
let's put him in a Rocky movie. Then everyone can root for him. Let's get someone on the pitch who can score goals.
Well, I don't know if that's good PR to have Darwin to have after the last PR he's had. Yeah. I don't know if
he kind of looked more like Ronda Rousey in that thing with those sports bras are so unfortunate, aren't they? When you're trying to look like a tough guy, and you've got a sports bra on, you just can't pull it off. It's so unfortunate.
Very, very true. I don't understand why they don't just take that thing off.
Full Hulk Hogan style when he was crawling up the barrier. If he'd ripped it off, gone like
that would be difficult. That'd be difficult. It's got the stretchable stuff, so he would probably
they've got like you ain't getting that off. You got you'd probably end up looking like a fool trying to do it, but it is unfortunate. Keep the tops on. But hey, that'd be great. Let's go for 30 goals this season for Darwin then. Come on.
There you go. I was going to be a little bit more conservative and say let's break the 20 threshold, but okay. You want 30? Hey, I'm for
10 for every year he's been here.
Yeah, I think for all competitions it's doable, like if he gets his act together, but whether he will or
all
not.
Comps, I'm saying
I'd like
to see him score 20 in the Prem. That's what I'm saying.
If we play 20 in the Prem, we'd probably win the thing if we have a 20 goal striker. But if we play one up front and it's a different focus, then that's cool. But me, it's none of this ever comes from a hate. I've judged him on the last 2 years, so it's not about what he might, if he does something, whatever. So I've judged him on the last 2 years. But if we play, and because he's not getting, so I think we all know that.
No,
so at least
he's made a contentious. He's actually spoken to Darwin, and he's told him that he is committed. Yeah.
Well, he's going to have to, also, we brought him in to do a job, so it's his turn now. You've got all the tools around you, all the players around you. Let's go and do it. So he will get the opportunity. I'm assuming he will get to lead. I mean, you lead the line in a 4-3-3 as well, but I think maybe he might get to lead the line in a different way, which either will play to his strengths or it won't. We'll find out. And basically, but at the end of the day, the job is to put the ball in the back of the net. So do that between 17 and 20 times in the league next season. Everybody will be happy. Get another 10 across everything else. Everyone will be happy.
Yeah.
That's all. We're not asking for 40. We're not asking for phenomenal, but lead the line, play 38 games, play 34 games in the league, say. Give us 17 goals. Like we say, play the other comps. Do 1.5 in 3, 1.5 in 4, those kind of, just do it over the season. Just score goals, bang them in. We'll build a team around you up front.
Okay. I see the chat is going through their thing with the songs. My song yesterday was "Tainted Love," but I guess today's song is a Queen song or possibly another song in there.
Bernie's on the
She's getting
musical
lyrics
stuff.
down. Yeah, she's got the lyrics down. I'm gonna have to practice those lyrics before I try belting them out. We're gonna return tomorrow. Also, we're gonna have a show tomorrow. Show tomorrow should be a really fun show. It's gonna be I'll give a little teaser. It's gonna be a combined 11 versus a combined 11, but it's going to be in spirit of the Euros, but not directly connected to the Euros. I don't know if that gets a little bit of a teaser or not. If that's enough of a teaser or enough of a clarification of what's going to be going on tomorrow, it's worth tuning in for. Basically, that's what my point is. It's worth tuning in because we're going to put together two pretty cool combined 11s, and we're going to ask you who you think these out of those two combined 11s would actually win. That's the big question. So yeah, we're going to get that in. I know that we're going to be getting ready for the preseason game that's going to be coming up pretty soon. I know that the game is on in about 3 hours, a little bit less than 3 hours from now. Yeah, is there anything you want to say to the people before we let them go on to their next destination? Or Brian, is there anything you want to say to the people?
No, tonight's a nice night. There's not a lot happening, I suppose. Yeah, just enjoy the rest of your evening and keep coming back.
Yeah.
Keep commenting, keep liking. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I haven't even liked this. We're the worst in the world for that. So do all the YouTube stuff that you're supposed to do, and yeah, just see you tomorrow. Hopefully.
Yeah. JK, something you want to say to people before they go on to their next destination?
Yep. Head Eye. New chapter in the Liverpool book. Don't do agendas.
Okay. Lee, you're up.
Thanks for being here, everybody. And look after yourselves. Don't do anything we wouldn't do. Behave. Don't be naughty.
Okay. Don't be naughty. I have to figure out what that song is, by the way. I don't know off the top of my head. Dreams by Gabriella.
Oh, yeah.
Never like that song. But,
no, not me too, JK.
She had an eye patch, did Gabrielle.
Yeah, she did. She had an eye patch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you, JK. It kind of like it kind of low grade Sade type lounge jazz.
I like the other one.
Whenever I hear Dreams, I think of
Fleetwood Mac.
Stevie Nicks. I think of Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. Yeah.
She ditched the eye patch for this second one, Raj, which I liked. Raj was a good one from Gabrielle.
Yeah, and she used her hair then. That became her thing. She used to wear an eye patch, 12 man, right? This girl, she became like a really big, she's kind of like a pop soul singer, but she had a really big, but she lost her eye, so she wore an eye patch. But she was very beautiful. She was really beautiful, right? But obviously she's very kind of, she was wearing an eye patch, right? She's a woman and a pop singer, so but she grew her hair down where she wore her fringe over her eye instead of the eye patch, and that became like her iconic look. And I always like she's amazing for that. Like she's great, but it was just that's her thing. Kind of, she's more almost famous for that, I suppose. I think like because it's like it's just unfortunate, but anyway, that's Gabrielle. Most women it's a woman with an eye patch.
I probably have heard the song. I just don't know it off. I just don't remember it off the top of my head.
Like, and I'm gonna say it. Like she rocked that eye patch. She looked good with the eye patch. She was so pretty, and she could actually wear the eye patch, and it was like, she looks good, man. She looks cool.
Okay.
So, it was very something you just you don't get that in pop music these days. Really, everyone has to be perfect, and all of that kind of stuff. So, okay.
Yeah, there was something I was going to bring up today, but I didn't running out of time, so like I won't go too into my dismay over the Time Bandits thing. So we'll save that for another day. Speaking of matches,
yeah, you're not happy, but he's not happy about Time Bandits, folks.
I'm not happy about Time Bandits out there.
Not
by the
happy
way,
about
people.
the Time Bandits.
I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I mean, if you get a chance, Google Time Bandits, and then you'll probably get two pictures that pop up now, because there's two distinctly different pictures. Not happy about it, but we'll say that for maybe Sunday or Saturday or something like that. But again, thank you for joining us today. Big up for everyone joining us. Had a really good crowd today. Really good chat going on. Chat's undefeated as always. Mighty Res Armies is always there. So I appreciate you guys for that. Definitely, if you can, pass it on. Tell people, hey, subscribe. Give us a chance. Try to come in, be a part of this forum. Be able to engage. Know that we're going to have differences of opinion sometimes, but the bottom line is that we're all Reds, and that's all that matters. So that's normally where it falls between us, is that, hey, you have different opinion, cool. I have different opinion, cool too. But I'm glad to have you as a Red, and I'm glad to take this walk with you. So again,
just quickly, sorry, yes. Big up Baz. I didn't know Baz was in. Big up Baz. It's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope everything's going well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so join us tomorrow. Should be cool. Hey, big game. Hope that we'll probably do a review involved in. I would like to. So we'll probably do a review tomorrow too, as a part of the show. So definitely, take your notes, get your ratings out there for the players. I get it's a preseason, but still all the same. Tell us what your ratings were for the players. And as always, people, up the Reds, people, up the Reds. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.